Hello and welcome to UAT Time within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us on the frequencies available on our website, firstuat.com. I'm Sergey Velichanskiy.
And I am Olivier. UAT Time is dedicated to bring Ukraine and Europe closer to each other by introducing the real Ukraine to the rest of the world.
Mikhailo Titarchuk, a governor of Odessa region, has declared war on corruption and has gathered a lot of new faces into his team. They're educated and motivated.
Our guest today is Mikhailo Titarchuk, head of state regional administration of Bilgorod, Dnistrovsky city.
Welcome.
Hi guys.
Well, Mikhailo, I'm very impressed with the information that I've got on you, your past experience. You've been pretty much everywhere. Azerbaijan, Burundi, Chad, Congo, Iraq, Libya, and so on. Now, the question is, you've decided to come back with your business experience. What and how did it happen?
Thank you, Sergey. The decision was quite tough, to do and to come back to Ukraine, especially that I've been more than 10 years abroad. And frankly, I was a little bit disappointed with the past events. So when we saw that we've got a Maidan, that we've got a new government, new president, and when we got a new government in Odessa, I got some positive feeling that we might get some new changes. And as I'm young generation, I'm only 31 years old. So I've been thinking, what's the way to be back? Mm-hmm. Not just the way to be back as a businessman. I think at that time I was planning to serve my country, so to use my knowledge and my experience and to be really efficient, a new Ukrainian generation of politicians. But obviously, for a person like me, I mean, in the past, you didn't have any chance to get in. It was like a triangle. So, and suddenly I saw in internet that Saakashvili said, hey, we're looking for young managers who are going to be head of the state regional administration in Odessa. We have approximately 26 regions. So, and just applied at the last moment. And I passed through the many different competitions. It was quite tough. Around 7,000 participants. So approximately 300 people for one post. And then I passed. So it was not easy decision because I changed my life on 180 degrees.
Yeah. I've always wanted to find out, actually, because everybody speaks about the new team, and I thought, okay, now, how a person like Mikhailo Saakashvili, definitely he has a lot of people, he knows a lot of people. So by saying created a new team, does that mean he just got on the phone, called all of his friends, come back and join my team? But that would be no much of a difference than what's happening with the corruption system as well,
Exactly.
So you, being professional where you've been with the top management positions that you've taken, now how did it feel to just go and take tests? It's like back in the student years,
Yeah, back in student years, but I think this is very tough test. First of all, you have to pass IQ test and you have to pass a corruption test. And most complicated was interview with all the deputies of Saakashvili and then interview with Saakashvili. Okay. But the final was communication with the local people of your region. So this was the most tough.
And I want to ask you a question. How now how you can use the experience you had from Africa or from Azerbaijan in Ukraine? What the same tools you can use now in Ukraine?
Maybe it will sound not so good, but to say that we're very close with Africa, that's true. Because what we have now, we lost more than 25 years of our independence in the development. And I can say that some countries in Africa, they're more higher, developed economically, and the way the business way, it's more easy. I mean, the
less corruption?
Yeah. They have corruption. I can't say that they don't have, but if you want to have a business, it's easy to create your business, it's easy to process with your business, and taxation process is also more easy than in Ukraine. We're close to Gabon, we're close to Congo and Zambia country.
And you are doing a parallelism between some African countries and Ukraine.
Exactly.
And it's interesting that as a stereotype here in Ukraine, we usually think of Congo and Uganda and other countries like that as the corrupted, countries, and we laugh at them, but we haven't gone anywhere.
One principal difference: they have better roads than us. They have better roads than us.
There you go.
That's very clear.
There you go. All right. So now, as would you describe? Once you've been appointed, that's the appointed position, right?
Yep.
Not the elected, but appointed. What were the challenges?
The challenges were through all over. First of all, you are a new person in the region, and nobody expected you.
Okay.
So you can imagine what kind of not supporting my position, the local people, the local, let's say, structure of mafia.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not interested in a new person because you're going to destroy their structure. So in this case, I would say, the popular phrase of Czech president Václav Klaus, better 5 years of mistakes than 50 years of sabotage. Mm-hmm. So at that time, when I entered as a new post, as the head of the state regional administration, I appointed my team as well, because you need to trust somebody. And unfortunately, I didn't trust 100% on my local people there, because everybody, this typical Ukrainian stuff, when you have somebody, relations, parents, even administration. So you've seen that many interested through all spheres, starting from the police, starting from the prosecutors, everywhere.
Yeah.
So the first months was tough, but I realized that the local people from villages, they were waiting for somebody new. And when I've been visiting some villages, they said, hey, you're the first guy, head of administration, who visited us since 1991. So at least they can touch you, they can talk with you, and you destroy, that old pessimism, where you say, hey, here is my number, you can call me.
Right. And I think we talked about that before.
Communication.
In communication, I think this is, in this country, in administration, public administration, like in a private company, you have this problem of management. That means you have a big gap between the top management and the workers. And I think in politics it's the same. You have this big gap between the head of the administration, as you, and the people. And I think to destroy the corruption, you found a good way. That means you give your phone number simply to the people. And that means they will not have to ask for a local person who will take money to have something. And I think that's a good example of what we have to do in Ukraine to change the management in Ukraine.
But what in reality should really happen when, as far as I understand, the salaries of the civil servants of the government and head of administrations and on different levels are not that high.
That's true.
We're talking about temptations pretty much on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's true. So my first principle was zero tolerance to the corruption. And of course, you're right. When we say that we fight with the corruption, the most politicians, they said we fight with the corruption, but it means with ethics. And we have to look on the reason. The reason, first of all, for officials like me, it has to be a reasonable salary.
Yes.
So which means that the official will work hard and he will know that he will get a good salary and he won't think about corruption.
Yeah.
Secondly, it has to be really serious punishment for the crime, for the corruption. When the official will know that he will going to lose everything. And third, I think in base also on these two problems, it's our tax code. Tax code, it means because it's unclear, it's the most complicated I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And if we will work properly, we don't need such army of officials in the tax administration. This is my view.
I think you have two big points for me to fight against corruption. First point, yes, is the low salary, to increase the salary of the civil servant, and that means you have to decrease the number of the civil servant. And you know that, for example, in a lot of countries, as in France, we are decreasing the number of the civil servant in the French administration.
That's right.
First point. Second point, and you have only one law to do in your tax code. That means, and you know, as in France, as in USA, as in Germany, you have to prove from where your income come from. From where your income come from, I repeat, this is important. In France, if you cannot prove from where your income come from, you are guilty, and you will pay more tax. And in Ukraine, and this is the same code in Russia, the administration has to prove that you are guilty.
Yeah.
And this is impossible. This is impossible.
Nonsense.
You have one law to do only one law. Prove from where your income comes from.
The most serious crime in the United States is not to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's with this law, you know, this is because of this law, they arrested Al Capone.
Yep.
Yeah, because of
Taxes, yes. Yeah.
We need to improve. I mean, I've seen in Estonia, it's electronic declaration.
Yeah.
It's very easy. So and after we'll be clear.
Isn't that what's the delay right now with this story with our tax code
that's true.
in Ukraine? You know, we have adopted the tax code, but that little thing, little amendment, little change there really
And you know
messed up
that's also a problem for the visa, you know, free regime.
I know.
You know, because when they voted the law for the visa free regime, they put at the end, a few minutes before, a law to that high civil servant don't have to publish their income in electronic way.
Yeah.
The European Union, when they saw that, said, "Come on, you are trying to play with us."
You know, we can really improve and we can get more money to the budget, especially when we improve the tax code. It's very simple. The most hardest is when officials are in touch with the businessman. So this is a level of corruption. As soon as you do electronic system, let's say, when you get income on your bank account, automatically, let's say 3-5% will go to the tax account, okay? And the rest you will get to your own account. In this case, you're not in touch with the tax police officer, so you paid automatically, there is no any problem. In this case, 90% of officials of tax administration will be laid off.
Yeah. Well, how is it to work with Mikhailo Saakashvili? I don't think you see him like on a daily basis and hourly basis, but you, as far as I understand, you work with him fairly close.
Yeah, you know what is good with the governor? You can talk with him anytime you need. You can text him. He always respond to you. And plus...
That is, I'm sorry, you know, but that is so unusual for a Ukrainian government thing. You know, it's like once you're in there, you're out of reach. You're like an elite, an angel.
Island.
Yes.
Yeah, like island.
Well, sorry.
We have 26 islands, okay? So these 26 islands, a new management team, we're in touch on daily basis, guys. We have our own group in Facebook, we have our own group in Viber. We're talking about all the problems. If somebody is smarter, let's say in land acquisition or whatever, we get in this experience.
Okay.
So with Saakashvili, it's also easy. If you're in administration, I want to say something really good. I'm saying what I've got. So if I need to meet him and he's in administration, you can get easily and you can discuss, you can provide your solution of your problem. So you're not coming with a problem, you're coming with a solution. So that's the difference.
Okay.
But you know, in this case, we can see that Saakashvili is more close from U.S. system of management than French system of management.
Yeah, that's true.
And he used really the typical U.S. management. That's mean more and more close to his employer. That's the workers, and that's really great. And this is a good example even for Europe.
Thank you.
Let me take a little pause. If you have anything to add, find our page on Facebook, facebook.com/UAT time, and send us your questions and your ideas and what you think. Thank you for being with us. Mikhail Saakashvili is right now is now known not only as the governor of Odessa region, but as the leader of the anti-corruption forum.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you say this would be his attempts to build a political power as far as a party that could potentially go on to a parliament? What do you think? Where does this lead us?
I would say that, with the Chinese proverb, the long journey starts from the first step.
Okay.
So I think this is a long journey. The first step already done, and I think this is a person who already wants changes. In this country. So we will see. I can't say his words from myself.
Well, hopefully we will one day we'll have him on our shows.
I really want to have Saakashvili in my show. Yeah,
but I think it's good. So we need reforms, and we need really reforms yesterday, and today is very urgent.
Yes.
And what? Okay, today is very urgent. I want to ask you this question. What do you think about the situation today? Excuse me, but it's very not a very easy topic. But what do you think about the situation today? Do you think that is better than 1 year ago? This is better than during Yanukovych period because some efforts were done. But now, what is your analysis about the situation now, especially now?
The situation what happened last week, I would name House of Cards. Really, because for me personally, it's clear and also unclear, because we really need changes. Not only politicians, all people in Ukraine. When we declare something that we move forward, we move to European Union, whatever, but we need to understand that we can't do changes without changes in place. So which means we have to start with a simple way. And for a time being, I just see declaration, but there is no results, sorry. The first result, what was done clearly for me, when I was declared for a new post in Odessa Oblast, when the people can choose let's say, a head of the state administration, where the people can talk. So if we will do even such simple example through all oblasts in Ukraine, I think it could help us, and it will be some result. Because people, they don't trust anybody, they don't trust any talks, they just trust the result. That's all.
Yeah.
What do you think the reform of decentralization will do? What influence will it have on your region? And will your region be drastically changed in some ways, and what do the people think?
Very good question. I think it's topic number one in Ukraine, decentralization. Yeah. I can tell you that in my region we already got one example, very good example. It's 8 villages who united together, and we move forward because we need to continue. But I think the main problem is, first of all, it's lack information for local people. Some of them, they don't understand what they will gain. So, second, the head, the chief of the villages, they're not interested in it. So they're trying to be independent. Imagine one chief of the village is holding his post more than 20 years.
Yes.
So it's like dictator.
There are stories like this.
What kind of changes you can expect?
Yes.
And third, we need to do more meetings with people. So what we are doing locally by ourselves to explain what will be really the percentage of success, what kind of budget, what will stay in their community, and they will decide on many things. So that's why we're trying to be more open, to make the process transparent, and to implement some IT technologies. So how to, like
new governance with IT technology?
Yeah, for example, we created smart city in Belgorod Dnistrovsky, we started smart city, which means that people, local people, they can participate in the life of the city.
Okay.
Second, maybe it's a very simple example, Facebook.
Yes.
All my workers in administration, all directors of the school, local population in my region, they're on Facebook, they're texting me, they're asking me questions, I responded immediately.
Okay.
So this is a way of communication.
Awesome.
So you make a process clear, and what I think is success when you make process clear and transparent, zero corruption, because the people inform you.
Yes.
So I think what is the biggest success during my time in administration, it's zero corruption. Because I know the previous past, when the people who wants to make any business in the region, they have to pass through the head of the state administration, then he will decide. Now, what we've done on the first week of my position in Belgorod Dnistrovsky, I said to all businessmen, hey guys, everything is free for you. I mean, you come with your ideas, I support you. So we have to understand that the state is not a power, it's a service for a local population.
Yeah.
But can you, have you noticed the changes in numbers? For instance, I don't know if maybe the budget is changed, or because we can understand that corruption is something where a lot of money go into the dark and they just bypass the budget. Now, since you freed the possibility for the businessmen to conduct their business in your region, that should be a little more attractive for business to work, you know, with white bookkeeping.
Yeah, white bookkeeping. I have many examples now that the businessmen, they come into me, they visit me, and they asking supporting, just to support. Hey, please, we don't need any help. Just help us with, for example, they have some percentage. It's a land. They have to pay for land, and they have different percentage. And in this case, you can check very precisely. If the business is really stable, you keep the same percentage. If you see the business is developing, so you need to do something, you know, like to help them. Let's say, let them pay minimum percentage. At least they will survive in 1 year, and after they will add investment. So in this case, you play. You're not looking like official. I don't care. I need this sum. But you have to think further. What will be next year with these guys?
And I want to ask you a question about decentralization again. I want to come back to this subject. You know that 1 year ago we wrote the Minsk Agreement, the second one. Okay, and it was signed. And in the second one, you have a big topic about decentralization and some autonomy from the further east of Ukraine. And in your opinion, and this is your private opinion, what do you think about this result of the Minsk Agreement, the second one? And for you, what is your point of view about how we can manage this east of Ukraine, those two, I can say, republic or support by Ukraine, support by Russia? How we can deal with that? Do you think that we have to, in my opinion, we have to take Donbass and develop the Donbass, maybe we are? What is your opinion about that?
Okay, I don't support.
We've got actually 1 minute.
Okay.
So.
I don't support any autonomy. This is the territory of Ukraine. It's 100%.
Yes, I agree.
And our people and our soldiers, they died for some reason to unite Ukraine. Second point, we can try, but we can't because our neighbor is too strong and we're alone for a time being. So we're fighting with the strongest army in the world. So in this case, what I can say, we have to improve our army condition as much as possible, and we don't have any excuse about economy, why economy is fell down. You can watch out on a very good example, Israel. More than 40 years, this country is fighting and high developed.
Constant war,
So that's my point of view.
Yeah.
All right.
I share this point of view also, okay.
Basically, we're pretty much ready to finish, but how do the people feel in your region? Because no wonder we pretty much know that one of the initial plans was to break through the territory, pathway from Russia to Crimea, and covering, taking over the Odessa region pretty much. Based, again, relying on the pro-Russian people.
Yeah.
What do you feel? How do the people feel? Do they feel more of a, I mean, we pretty much know that most people speak Russian there, right?
Yeah, 80%.
Okay, yeah. But what do they feel in their minds and in their hearts?
Look, I'm also Russian speaking, yeah, and I think in other way. So it doesn't matter which language you speak, it matters where you live.
Yes.
So I feel myself Ukrainian. And the people in my region, I think it was lack of attention from the government, which means in some villages you can't find even Ukrainian radio. So imagine the people asking me, please, can you just add Ukrainian radio? We will listen Russian radio and Ukrainian radio. At least we can compare.
That's
so the main point, I think we don't have to split on which language you speak or I'm speaking. We are one big nation.
Yes.
We have many, especially Odessa is more than 100 nations inside. So it's a big mix.
Yes.
So I think we just need to support and not to put too much influence inside.
Yes, that's true. Well, thank you very much for what you do and for all the efforts. We just really hope everything's going to be changing and developing for better. So thank you for stopping by. It was United Country UAT Time by First Ukraine. Our guest was Mikhailo Titarchuk, Head of State Regional Administration of Bilgorod Dnistrovsky City.
Olivier, Vedrine and Sergey Velichanskiy were working for you in the studio. Stay with us and we'll show to you the Ukraine.
Thank you for being with us. Have a good day and see you soon.